What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wise Talk with CaBreon Wise. You know who I am. I'm joined with Ben and Dave, and we are back after a brief break just in time for 4 years of Wise Talk. Um, Time has pretty much passed by. Uh, let's kick things off with Ben. How's things going?
Things going good. Looking forward to start of the Elite Eight. Big sports games coming back, and also soccer coming back from international break. A lot of good stuff in the sports world.
Yes, sir. Dave, how about you?
Uh, it's tough being a Bucks fan right now. Or that's for one. My bracket is gone. It's not even a bracket anymore. It's terrible. Uh, yeah, so I guess things are going good, but not for me, just for everybody else.
Yeah. My bracket is terrible, and that's what we're gonna lead off with. We're gonna take a recap of the four game of the Elite Eight on Thursday. Texas Tech in overtime defeated Arkansas, coming back for what was it, 18 points?
Hmm.
Yeah, and 13 points in the last 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, crazy.
Huge comeback. 10-0 run in crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yep. And then also Duke defeating Arizona 100-93. Cooper Flagg was amazing. Florida defeating Maryland 87-71. It was a tight game, and Florida pretty much rolled away in the last few minutes. Alabama setting NCAA tournament record with most threes when beating BYU 113-88. Then yesterday, Auburn defeating Michigan 78-65. Michigan State surviving against Ole Miss 73-70. Tennessee defeating Kentucky 78-65. And then Houston on a brilliant play, 62-60. So we're going to kick things off with our co-basketball content director, Ben Doherty. What is your thoughts about the Elite Eight?
I mean, we'll stick. I mean, I guess I'll go on matchup by matchup. I mean, we'll start Duke and Alabama. Because that, in my opinion, is gonna be my favorite matchup of this. Duke. I mean, the score of that Duke Arizona game does not give justice to what Duke did. Duke dominated that game. I mean, it was close at the end, but I mean, they pulled away, they stayed away, and then, I mean, Arizona hit some threes. Caleb Love started doing his thing, but that game was Duke's all the way. That was game was Duke's to lose. Then you look at Alabama, who Mark Sears shot like a baby Steph Curry, right? A left-handed Steph Curry, if you will. Um, I mean, their defense, even though they gave up 88 points, their defense was spectacular to watch. Their individual, like hard-nosed, one-on-one defense, which is what they've been playing the whole year, it was great to watch. And yeah, give up 88 points, but when you're having a possession score 113, um, I mean, at 88 is fine, obviously. They shot, I think, 25 for 51 from three. I doubt they'll sustain that against Duke. And also I mean, my question, I mean, for this is who's going to guard Cooper Flagg? Who's going to guard Duke's size inside, especially because Grant Nelson, I believe his name is.
Uh-huh.
Their tall big man. I mean, he's susceptible to foul trouble because of their quick possession play, and he's really their only physical guy. They have other big guys, but he's their only physical guy who's really going to fight it out. And you have to be physical against Duke. You have to be physical against Cooper Flagg. So I'm curious how they're going to manage fouls early and how they're going to try to keep him in the game for as long as they can because they need him in the game for as long as they can.
Right.
Um, Houston and Tennessee. I mean, like you said, Houston play spectacular. I mean, that's the coach of the year drawn up a coach of the year play. But they survived Purdue. And then Tennessee again dominates Kentucky. That was nothing short of domination the whole way through. Um, there's nothing really else to say about that. That was just domination. And that game's gonna be fun. It's probably gonna be like 38-44, but that's okay. We can have a low scoring game in the Elite Eight, but two great defenses going head to head. It's gonna be fun to watch. Probably the least fun to watch game though because of that defense. There should not be a lot of scoring in that game. Florida, Texas Tech. Texas Tech comes back on Arkansas. Calipari collapse right on your agenda, right on time. That can't happen. Winning that game can't happen. I mean, your team's got a chance to go to the Elite Eight. You're up 13 with 4 minutes left. You can't blow that lead. I don't care who it's against. Texas Tech is a great team. You can't give up a 10-0 run in crunch time. That can't happen. And then they play Florida. Florida, throughout this whole thing, has looked like the best team in the country. The only team that's really challenged them, even in the SEC tournament, was UConn. I mean, through the whole way, it's been UConn. Dan Hurley, in my opinion, best coach in college basketball at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Is the only one that's giving them a run for their money. I think they're going to continue that. I think they're going to dominate Texas Tech. I think they're going to win by 15 plus against Texas Tech. That's my opinion. Could be wrong, but I mean, they've looked amazing. They are amazing. They should continue to be amazing. And then Auburn, Michigan State, good matchup. March Izzo, you never know what could happen, but I think Auburn's size is going to be too much for Michigan State, and also Auburn's experience. I mean, Michigan State relies a lot on their younger guys for their scoring. Auburn's guys are all 28 years old. I think that's going to be the difference, and I think Auburn takes that. But I have it chalked in the Final Four, and I'm going to stick by that because I'm taking Duke, Auburn, Florida, and Houston all the way.
Dave, your thoughts?
Well, we can go by one. So for Auburn and Michigan State, I'll probably pick Michigan State. I feel like they have a starter coach, one of the best coaches in the game. And then I go Florida for Florida versus Texas Tech. Florida looked amazing. I had them losing during the Sweet 16. I thought they were gonna lose to UConn, but I guess not. Yeah, they look strong, especially against Maryland, who a lot of people had Maryland winning that. But yeah, I'll take Florida against Texas Tech. Houston looks like, to me, in my opinion, they look like the best college team. Well, the second best college team in basketball right now. Tennessee, they've been playing good, but not as much as Houston, and they have the coaching advantage, in my opinion. And then Duke, I have Duke going all the way, so I have them beating Alabama. Though Alabama has shined throughout the tournament, I don't think it's going to be close. Yeah, you have Cooper Flagg, you have Knuckle. I'm sorry, CaBreon. You have
his fucking name.
You have Proctor. You have all those other athletes on the team. Yeah, I just have Duke winning that. So my Final Four would be Michigan State, Florida, Houston, and Duke.
Yep. So my thoughts about it. Starting with the Elite Eight. I have Florida winning the whole thing. So
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my pick. I think they're going to beat Texas Tech handily, in my opinion. Duke and Alabama. This is the game I've been wanting to see. This is my most anticipated game in all the tournament, as a matter of fact. I really think they match up well, but with Duke, Cooper Flagg is a machine. He's a 6'9" floor general. And you know who that reminds you of?
LeBron.
So Cooper Flagg has been amazing throughout this whole tournament. And then you can't forget Tyrese Proctor with him shooting lights out this tournament. I didn't expect him to shoot this well. Then, of course, the former Wisconsin Lutheran guard. Y'all know who he is. Then also they have size. Their defense is amazing. They're very lengthy. But with Alabama, I think they match up well. Mark Sears can shoot the game lights out. Grant Nelson, of course. Aiden Holloway. No, their guard play is very, very good. But I think Duke could pull away. I think it's going to be close throughout the whole game, but Duke will pull away in the end. And then for Sunday, we have Tennessee and Houston. Tennessee is a team who shocked the hell out of me due to their March Madness history, because they are contenders almost every year, but then around the 32, they fall off. But they've been very, very good this year. Rick Barnes has coached them very, very well. Their guard play again, elite guard play. But I think Houston is just too much. They have my favorite coach in all of college basketball, Ralph Sampson, and I think Houston is going to beat them. LJ Cryer is going to have a big game, in my opinion. I think he's gonna have a big game tonight. Well, no, tomorrow I should say. And then Michigan State against Auburn. I am personally, for the first time ever, I am rooting for Michigan State.
SpaghettiOs.
And the reason why I'm rooting for Michigan State is actually for reasons I don't think we should discuss on this podcast. Do your research about Bruce Pearl. That's all I'm gonna say. Trump supporter. But Michigan State, though, very, very well coached. Tom Izzo, what you say he is, like a top 3 coach in all of college basketball? Top 5? Currently.
Yeah. Top 3. Easily.
Yeah, top 3
Easily.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like what would be our top 3? Dan Hurley,
Bill Self, Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
Bill Self still.
I think, well, I mean, it depends because, like, Coach Sampson's got to be in there now because of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, how consistent he's had them for a while. But other than that, I mean, who else would you throw there? Matt Painter? I mean,
in fairness, I got to give Painter props this year.
Yeah, but, I mean, are you going to have him over Izzo?
Yeah, absolutely not. But
so, I mean, other than that, I mean,
my 3 would be Hurley, Izzo, and Sampson. That'll.
What about Shaka?
Absolutely. Shaka should get fired.
Thank you for actually, Dave. Thank you. I want to drive away from the Elite 8 right now because I am so pissed with the Marquette Golden Eagles. This season falls on Shaka Smart. Simple as that. If you looked at this team, we were one piece away. One piece.
You were not having to play Ben Gold 30 minutes away.
Oh my God. Ben Gold.
Guess what though? You guys are going to get no transfers because he refuses to negotiate NIL. Yeah. You're going to get no big in-state recruits because he refuses to negotiate NIL.
In Iowa State. Who else?
Zach Kissinger, Wisconsin.
Xavier Mitchell, Iowa State.
Yep. I mean, coaches denying the new era of NIL makes no sense to me. You have to do it. And denying it just is going to kill your program. And he won't be on the hot seat because of what he's done for the program and what he did at VCU or like the turnaround effect.
Marquette loves Shaka Smart. I mean, I get it. He's a good guy. Damn it, I'm trying to win.
Fire.
I'm trying to win.
Let me get that take.
Oh yeah, Ben's take. Say your take again, Ben.
Well, see, when I first said it, I said he would be fired by 2026, and everybody got mad. So I changed it to 2029. But my original take was that Shaka Smart would be fired by the end of the 2026 season.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that on one. We can go back to whatever. I think it was the World Series recording before the before the Houston World Series championship. I think it's on that one. Yeah. I mean, I said he could fired because in my opinion, he's not a good coach. Yeah, he jumps up and down the sideline and plays defense in the corner, but he doesn't win big games, and he hasn't won big games, and he keeps losing them. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the last 3 tournament losses, even going back to Murray State. I mean, it's just
Wait, wait. I don't think the Murray.
No, he wasn't.
one
He
was
wasn't. He
Shaka.
wasn't. He
That
wasn't.
wasn't
Like
Shaka.
coming out of Murray State, like he's building a program, right?
Oh
Built it
yeah.
great. Built it great. And then just does. It's the great guard thing too. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, like Shaka Smart built a great program. He built a great culture. Great guard. I don't really agree with Wisconsin's basketball culture right now, but
Oh yeah.
he's getting great. He's getting great recruits. He's building up talented rosters, and then as soon as it comes time for him to actually step on the floor and coach, it's awful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Make him the recruiting coordinator, not Shaka. Shaka should just be. She should go back to UW Parkside or whatever.
Mhm.
But Greg Gard also get him out of Wisconsin. Get him out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
Goodbye.
they're gonna lean on the fact that Greg Gard overexceeded expectations, and which he did, but
Did he overexceed because of Greg Gard? Did he overexceed because John Donji averaged 22 points this year? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a great recruiter. He's building a good program. The mentality of the program, again, still questionable, but he's building a good program. The problem is when it's time for him to coach a basketball game, it's bad. When you have 13 seconds left in the biggest game of your life, and the play that you dry up is nothing, it's just give a ball and watch. Off ball movement. So when your scorer gets stopped, you got 4 guys standing there watching the ball, their hands up their ass.
Yeah.
That's not good coaching. That's horrible coaching. Then you got an air ball. No one's there for the rebound because again, they were standing on the arc with their hands up their ass. I mean, it was just awful. I don't know. We'll see though.
It is very, very tough basketball being done here in Wisconsin. UW Milwaukee choked in the first round of the Horizon League tournament. So
I watched that game. That was awful. That was awful.
yeah. Too bad EJ ain't here so I could troll him, but
Hey, I'm technically a UWM alum, so watch yourself. Okay,
well, I mean, it's a little bit tough, and then the Wisconsin women's basketball program, it's well, I mean, it ain't never been
coach
good.
they hired. She said, coach they hired.
The coach that they hired might arguably be worse than the coach they hired before then.
She's like a career 30% winning percentage.
Oh my God.
Like over the last 6 years,
Yeah,
he's never had a 500 winning season.
yeah, she's been horrible. I didn't understand it at all. There's not a whole lot of great options in women's college basketball, but you don't like you can get a new coach. You can let somebody build their program and coaching style because you already suck.
Right.
Get something fresh.
I think it might call for a conversation about Chris McIntosh, who's the athletic director for Wisconsin. Because since he's taken over men's basketball, football, the number one revenue team in Wisconsin, down. The only program that looks good is women's hockey.
Hey, but they look really good.
They look really good.
National championship.
The problem is they've always been good.
Hey, and shout out UWR for women's hockey going for the Natty on Sunday.
Oh,
at home.
At home.
Yep. Shout out them. But anyways, let's get back to the chalk talk because I wanted to talk about this with the chalky tournament trend that's on the schedule here. I think, in my opinion, it is 100% on the committee about not having a lot of upsets this year, not having like essentially having a chalky tournament. Because you look at this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at like Memphis, Colorado State, and the 5 and 12, right? Those are 2 teams, and Memphis isn't really like an upset, a Cinderella team, but they're non-Power 5. They would have been fun to see because no one had seen them yet. And you match them up with probably one of the best non-Power 5 teams. You're putting 2 of the non-best Power 5 together, and then they play each other, and then one's done. Like you're just taking a Cinderella away right there off the back. I think they did an awful job with Louisville and Creighton. Louisville's an exciting team to watch. They play a fun brand of basketball. And you put them against the second best team, or in my opinion, obviously, but in my opinion, the second best team coming out of the Big East. And right there, you're just taking away a fun team. And a lower seeded team should have been seeded higher. You're taking away a fun team. Same with, I think UC San Diego was awful seeding, right? This is the best statistic non-Power 5 team of all time. Yeah. And you match them against a team that really they couldn't beat. They could not guard. Michigan is 2 7-footers that they play regularly, a 6'9" guy that can shoot from the perimeter, and as can the other 7-footers. UC San Diego couldn't guard that. In the first half, you saw it. Michigan changed their offense in the second half, like every college team does for some reason when they're up, and it was a close game. But that again, it's on the committee, and I know you're not supposed to look at, oh, we want this team to go far when we do this, but if you want the brand of basketball to be fun to watch, you want this not to be a 1-1-1-1 going into the Final Four third weekend, you have to think about it, because I think they did an awful job this year. I mean, even looking at Kansas, Arkansas, you take 2 legendary coaches and you're just like, oh, one you's done in the first round.
Yep.
That's bad. That is bad. And you could have thrown Arkansas against UCLA on the other side and put Utah State against Kansas. It would have been fine. No one would have cared. No one would have noticed that, oh, Arkansas was ranked below Utah State. That's why they're out of region. No one would have cared. And we would have had a better chance of keeping these 2 legends of the game in longer. Calipari did his job. Bill Self, it's not on him. That's on Hunter Dickinson. He's a bum. We'll see him at McDonald's in a year and a half.
Well, he already has a job as an analyst on the pregame show.
Are we serious?
Yeah, I think he was on the pregame show yesterday.
Oh my God. That's really gonna ruin it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He
But
did.
anyways, yeah, I'm blaming the committee for that this year. It also is the fact that, I mean, Houston, Florida, Duke, and Auburn are just the best 4 teams in the country.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And wait, I have 1 second. I saw a graphic yesterday. I'm gonna pull it up here
Mm-hmm.
about, like, it was, I don't remember what the stat was, but it was looking at like the best 9 teams in the country. So essentially, like the top 2 seeds each, and then Gonzaga, because statistics love Gonzaga. But if you're looking at Ken Palm rankings, I don't really know if I can show this here, but like you're looking at, can you guys see
Yeah.
that kind of like
Yeah,
those
I
top
can
4
see it.
so far above everybody else? Oh, and then those next 4, again, so much higher than everybody else. And then you're looking at everybody else on that graph is then below that line.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous what, like, just even the rating differences, and it's what was going to happen this year, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's fun to watch. We get good teams that loved NC State, but I mean, they did not love watching them against Purdue, because that game sucked.
Oh, wow,
So,
that game was so hard to watch.
so I don't know, but I blame the committee for this one, and I think we're not done with Cinderellas in college basketball. We just took a year off, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Dave, how about you?
Well, that's what March Madness is all about, just seeing the Cinderella team, seeing the underdogs drive. I miss teams like NC State making it to the Final Four. I miss teams like, St. Peter's? I miss teams like that.
Yeah.
Just being an underdog and, putting on for your college, that's what college basketball is all about. And it was kind of disappointing not to see that this year. I believe all the teams that made it to Elite Eight are 3rd seed and above. So yeah, like what Ben said, it's probably the committee's fault. But you really can't. I guess when you have, players like Cooper Flagg, players like, I don't want to say his name again, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, playing in the tournament, going against lower teams, it's gonna be bound. It's gonna be bound that those teams make it to the Elite Eight. So yeah, really can't argue with that.
Yeah, pretty certain. Like Ben said, I just think we took a year off. And sometimes that happens in college basketball. Sometimes we don't exactly get our normal, Cinderella teams. You don't get your Loyola Chicago's. You don't get your Dunk City. I forgot what college it was. Crap, I'm trying to think. Dunk City. I can't think of it.
Florida Gulf Coast, FGCU.
Yep, Florida Gulf Coast.
Mhm.
You can't really exactly get those every single year. And this was also one of those seasons in which, like, me and Ben was talking about this, in which, like, all the 4 number 1 seeds were a level above everybody else.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is upsetting that we exactly didn't get those teams. I thought a team that could make a Cinderella run was Drake. I mean,
Yeah, they look strong beating
they were very, very
Bradley.
strong.
Yeah.
They're an incredible rebounding team. They play great defense, and they have a player who seems unguardable. So
Yeah, he chose to go to Iowa. He chose to go to Iowa. Are we serious?
I know.
Ridiculous. I don't know, but I think Drake's problem, I mean, it runs the same thing, size, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what all the mid-majors' problems were this year. That's what VCU's problem was. That's what UC San Diego's problem was. That's what Drake's problem is. They hit Texas Tech. Texas Tech had 50 points in the paint that game in a collegiate basketball game. 50 of their 77 or 48 of their 77 were in the paint. I mean, you can't win the college basketball game giving up 50 points in the paint. And I think that is a shift that NIL kind of creates that, like, hey, if you're over 7 foot, we'll pay you $500,000. You can come here, like what Florida's doing with Oliver Giroux, or however you say his last name. I mean, you got a 7'9" freshman willingly redshirting in your program. And that's NIL, because that would never happen pre-NIL, because you get nothing out of that. You can go somewhere where you can play, where you can develop. But here, he's getting a bag. He's still developing. Shoot, he might get a national championship with how it's looking. And then he can show up next year with the money he's already made and play with no consequence. And he doesn't lose anything. And maybe that you can consider the year that he lost, that he didn't play at a mid-major where he could pull a taco fall and do something incredible. He's making it back in the money. I think that's what the difference is going to create. Where, like, it's kind of like what the SEC was doing before NIL in football, where they're taking these players and they're hiding them on their bench that the rest of the country doesn't get until they're ready to play them. Now those guys aren't going to those SEC schools. For basketball, it's the opposite. They're keeping them. They're hiding them. And then it's really keeping height away from teams that need it. I mean, you looked at Liberty when Oregon beat them. I mean, shoot, Liberty was a huge upset pick, and Oregon handled them easily. They out-rebounded them. They out-hustled them. They out-everything them. And it's just, I don't know. We'll see next year, because last year was fine. Last year was great. And there was NIL last year. So I think we got to see next year, see if it's a trend or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, if the Cinderella is dead, and where did all the Cinderellas go? When we come back, we'll dive into whether or not the little guys still have a shot in March Madness now that players can cash on NIL. So we'll be right back, folks. We are back. We decided to switch up the script a little bit, and we're going to kick things off with a very popular topic that's been going on within the sports media. LeBron James is no stranger to the spotlight, but really, he's been making headlines off the court, and it's with probably the most preeminent sports media figure in all of the world, as he's been a war of words with Stephen A. Smith. Now, let me walk you through the entire saga between these two. Now, there's a history a while back, but let's kick things off from about the last month or so. It began when Stephen A. Smith commented on LeBron's son, Bronny James. After a loss on January 28th, Smith went on a first take rant. It says Bron is in the NBA because of his dad, should be in the G League to earn his spot, cautioning LeBron to stop this setup, implying LeBron was exposing Bronny to unfair expectations, and pleaded to him as a father. Fast forward to March, Stephen A. attended a Lakers-Knicks game on March 6th. LeBron, in the middle of a timeout, approached him on the sidelines, and in a brief heated exchange caught on camera, told Stephen A., keep my son's name out of this shit, bro. before walking off. Then this confrontation made waves all over social media. And then the next day, Stephen A., after saying he didn't want to address it, addressed it the morning after. He said he understood that LeBron was acting as a protective father and he didn't take offense. However, he clarified that his critique about the position LeBron put Bronny in, it was not an attack on Bronny himself. And then Stephen A. went ahead and called LeBron a liar, releasing a 52-minute podcast accusing LeBron as a liar, and then goes on the Hannity show on Fox Sports, Gil's Arena on podcasts, and goes on to what LeBron described it as a Taylor Swift tour. And then Stephen A. ends up saying, after LeBron goes on the Pat McAfee show for the 1-hour interview, in an interview that we've never really seen from LeBron before, Stephen A. later would say, if he touched me, I would swing back.
Which we would have loved to see.
I would have liked to see that. I would have liked to see that. But then finally, LeBron's retort, he posts on Instagram of Stephen A. boxing, and then boxing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then LeBron also with the caption, womp, womp, womp.
And that post also came out about an hour and a half after he hit a game winner
against the Pacers. Correct.
So like that. I mean, that was probably LeBron's best day he's had in a while.
For
if
sure.
We're really talking. I mean,
he almost scared me when he almost lost his 10
I
games
know.
streak.
2 points at halftime. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with LeBron that day. He was rough.
But the Magic came back. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Magic's still there.
Yeah. And then Stephen A. the day after pretty much exposed his entire feelings about LeBron, saying that he never liked him his entire time, called him two-faced, and also went as far to bring up LeBron's absence at Kobe's memorial service, even though it was reported that LeBron was there and requested not to be filmed. So I pretty much gave you the timeline. Dave, we're going to kick things off with you. What is your thoughts about this entire beef?
Well, Stephen A. Smith is in a lose-lose scenario. Going against somebody with LeBron James, his fan base, whatever you say, it's always going to be put against him. Though, as a man, you can't lie. If someone swings on you, no matter who it is, I'm not defending Stephen A. Smith here, but if somebody swings on you, no matter who it is, you have to swing back. I feel like that's what he was trying to get the point across. But it's LeBron James, and so people are gonna criminalize it. But still, I feel like Stephen A. Smith did cross the line, talking about his son. I feel like all these media personalities too, they're crossing this line of talking about Bronny. When we should be talking about other draft picks, I seen a video of Marquette alum. What was his name? Oso. He plays for the Phoenix Suns, right?
Oso.
Yeah.
Yep,
I seen a video of him, his jump shot while shooting threes, and they're talking about they're talking about y'all talking about Bronny. Meanwhile, this is the previous 40th pick of the draft. So, Bronny, he has made some great improvement throughout his time in the league. I think his highest scoring game in the NBA has been 17 points.
Yep, 17.
Against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Against Milwaukee.
Yeah. When he crossed up Giannis and his highest.
Hey, no, he didn't.
league
No, he
game.
didn't. No, he didn't. He missed that one. Yeah. No, he didn't.
He
No, he
ended
didn't.
up
He missed.
turning the ball over, so Giannis got
Yep.
to stop.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah,
so
Yep.
yeah. And then
Stops is top.
his highest G League game was 39 points. So there's something there. I'm not saying Bronny isn't going to be like an all-time great. That's why I feel like he's getting criticized because people expect so much greatness of the LeBron James name.
mhm.
But I feel like Bronny, he's going to be like, I feel like he's going to be like a Jalen Suggs, Drew Holiday archetype player. Someone who's a great defender. We see that athleticism is there. And I feel like he just needs someone like Drew Holiday, like that defensive mindset. I would say someone like Avery Bradley can also, coach him really well on defense. And then if he gets that down, I feel like just keep making, the leaps of scoring. And I feel like he'll be a great player in this league. I'm thinking, 10 years, 15 years in the league. I feel like that'll be a great career. But I feel like just not even talking about Stephen A. Smith, there's like I said, there's like all these personalities talking about. I remember back a while ago, I think it was Austin Reed. No, not Austin. Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was talking about you know, Bronny needs to make his own name. Uh, Criticizing LeBron, saying, why are you letting him in this league? Uh, but I feel like if Bronny, the best thing for Bronny to do is, I wouldn't say get far get far away from LeBron as possible. I just want him to create his own name. I'm tired of him being stuck in his uh, great father's shadow. Because being the son is the best basketball player of all time, you're gonna get hate, you're gonna get criticism, and I just feel like he needs to play his own game. So yeah, that's my take on this.
Yep. Ben?
Um, in terms of like the LeBron Stephen A back and forth, I mean, Dave said it was a lose-lose. I mean, Stephen A, while losing, this has been a success for him.
It has.
Because I mean that I guarantee you that show's viewership is up since this whole thing started because everyone wants to tune in at what is it 9:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. to watch
9 a.m. Yep.
9 a.m. to watch what Stephen A has to say about what LeBron said last night. I think LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show was amazing because it
Yeah,
is really that one place in media where he can say what he wants. He can be unfiltered. He was cussing. He was having fun with it. And it was perfect because they were in Indiana to play the Pacers anyways, and the Thunderdome where they record is just literally 30 minutes down the road from the Pacers arena. So, I mean, I think it was a good decision. I do think, and I know it is kind of the whole point of the Pat McAfee show. He came off as a bit, I don't want to say unprofessional because it doesn't have to be professional, but he gave some quotes that the people that already don't like him are going to run with, talking about he's on a Taylor Swift run. Or he ended it with he's gonna grab his ice cream and his tidy whities on his couch.
Yep.
That is a LeBron James quote, and stuff like that is stuff that, like, I mean, you can call it the Jordan lovers or the anti-LeBron people in media are gonna run with that. They're gonna call it immaturity, they're gonna call it whatever, and then they're gonna turn this argument against him. I think he could have filtered himself a little better in that interview, but I mean, I don't understand what Stephen A is doing at this point, right? I understand he's doing it for the views. I understand he wants to continue this as long as possible. So even though he apologized a week ago and then said something else, and then he apologized again for being incorrect about the Kobe memorial service, and then apologized again. Now he's bringing it up again, and he's just going to go back and forth where he's going to apologize, save his name, right? So then he can always go back and he's like, oh yeah, I said sorry for that. And then he's going to go right back into the fire because it's making them money. It's getting them views, and that is their entire objective. That is what they're in media to do. And then in terms of Bronny, I think this is actually a really good example of like what could happen if these young guys get a chance. I mean, you're looking at like AJ Johnson on the Wizards. He's been balling out.
Yeah.
I mean, these young guys like Bronny, like these 50, 60 late picks where these guys trickle down for whatever reason, like Bronny because of his size or because his heart almost blew up. Right. When you look at, or even also talk about a guy like that, he dropped down because he can't shoot. He's a post guy. Like, what point do these late picks where you give them a chance, you give them enough minutes, could they turn into real NBA role players? And I mean, I understand the idea of what Dave's saying, and he should separate himself from LeBron. But if they run with the narrative of like, hey, this is someone that no one thought could be anything because of where he was picked and because of his size, because of this thing that he didn't, measure up to in
Right.
NBA basketball, but he's still balling out. He can be a useful part of the league. What does that change, like the mentality of scouts of teams about giving young guys a chance? I think it could be valuable to second round picks, late first round picks, like teams or guys that teams wouldn't normally give a chance. Like, hey, this is working for them. And it is fair to say that the only reason Bronny's getting some of these minutes is because he's LeBron James' kid. That's a fair thing to say,
Yeah.
especially early in the season when he was like the first guy off a bench in a blowout. That's because he's LeBron James' kid. That normally would not happen with the late second round pick of that draft. That almost never happens. So, but those minutes have been valuable, and he's shown himself that he can play in those minutes. He's shown himself he can play in the G League where he's getting 30 plus minutes a game. So I think it could be a very good thing for lower picks, for late picks, to get them where they need to be to succeed in the league and give them a chance. And I think he could be the poster boy for that, if you will.
Yeah.
Yep, very great points. Both of your parts. My take about this whole thing. I'm glad this happened. Because everybody can see how awfully and how much damage Stephen A. Smith has done to the world of sports media.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just him though. Just like I would say Kendrick Perkins. Oh my God, he's a horrible analyst. I don't know why. Oh my God. Kendrick Perkins is
Perk.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my, I remember JJ Redick was talking like, I remember that one, the argument they had on the air. He just called him out, just like, dude, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And
That was a great day.
yeah. Other
Yeah.
analysts like Mad Dog. I don't even know where Mad Dog even came from.
Oh, Chris Mad Dog Russo. Well,
He's horrible.
yeah, he's a sports radio legend, specifically in New York.
Right.
So he kind of made his name the exact same way as Stephen A. and Skip did, except he just did it on radio. So
he should go back to radio.
Yeah.
Even people on radio don't like to hear him. So
okay, well then he should go back to, I don't know, elementary school.
Well, he was on MLB Network, so
he was. I do remember that.
Yeah.
To go back to that because it's not working.
Oh, don't send him back there. We don't want him over there. What?
We definitely don't want him here.
And we don't want him here. We don't want him here. You gotta go somewhere.
MLB Network's in a great spot right now. I like what they're doing. I mean, they've been one of the better, especially like their in studio. I don't say entertainment, but like their time filler stuff is always great. The guys it brings is always great. So they should stick with what they're doing.
Yeah, I like what MLB Network is doing.
Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
But yeah, so I hope everyone is seeing how much he's damaging sports media. And this entire situation, to be honest, is awful for basketball media.
Yeah.
Because this is getting the number one attention more than the Rockets, who have been hot as of late. The Clippers look great. Kawhi Leonard, since All-Star break, looks like Kawhi Leonard. Who else? What else?
Pistons have been surging.
The Pistons have been great.
Fifth seed or my
Pistons have been good. Somehow, some way, this is taking it more attention than Shea versus Jokic in the MVP conversation. What else?
We got to get into that too, though. We definitely got to get into that.
Yeah, we also got to get into the Grizzlies.
Firing their coach for
firing Taylor Jenkins. Like,
okay, can we say he definitely did something though?
Yeah, I said. I mean, too.
You know what I mean? Like they're actually 5-5 in their last 10.
This is what I've heard. The Grizzlies organization was unhappy with Jenkins because of their lack of success against 500 teams. John Morant apparently complained about the offensive system being done in Memphis, and also the organization felt he lost the locker room.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
a video of Desmond Bain and was it?
I think Santi Aldama.
Yeah, Adama. Yeah, they
Yep.
were fighting on the bench. Yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely lost the locker room then.
Okay.
and they were
So,
about 40 at the time.
Yeah.
because I was against the Jazz, right?
Yeah.
So how do you go from having arguably the best and like most, I don't say in tune, but like the closest locker room in the sport during those Warrior series to 2 years later, 3 years later, losing the locker room? Like, I mean, the Grizzlies,
Brooks
when they were playing
effect?
the Warriors and fighting with the Lakers, they were the best locker room in the NBA, and that was inarguable because they were having the most
Yeah.
fun. They were playing the hardest games. I mean, they were the closest locker room, and Jenkins was a part of that. I mean, you saw him on the sidelines going
Yeah.
nuts, like he thought he was Shaka Smart.
Uh-huh.
And like, what happened in the past 2 years? You know what I mean? And it's not. I don't
I
want to say it's not from lack of success, but
I would
you
say
know,
is
believe
I
it or
would say
not,
it's
Ja pulling the
Lakers.
gunner.
it may be Dylan Brooks.
Was Dylan Brooks the catalyst of that locker room? Is that why the
Was he the
Rockets are doing
glue?
so good
Might
now?
have been.
Is that our new agenda?
It,
Dylan Brooks is
I don't know.
I mean, hey, they're the 2 seed right now. Can't really argue it.
Yeah, but
Cannot argue it. We also need to talk about the fact that the Suns are out of the playoffs behind the Luka Doncic-less Mavericks.
mhm.
We just got
that's
AD
horrible.
back, and now we're going to be playing better. Like the Suns very well could miss the playoffs, and the Kings or the Mavericks would be in front of them.
Yeah.
Kevin
Because
Durant's
they're
gone
a
now.
full game back.
After the season, Kevin Durant is gone.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Oh my
Oh yeah,
goodness.
for sure.
He's going to the Thunder for like $10 million a year. He's getting that ring. He's getting that ring.
I don't think KD's a free agent though. He
No,
got
yeah, he's
traded.
he's
I
definitely
thought
getting traded though.
I thought he was. How much
No,
is he
no,
on
no,
for?
no.
No, I don't think
Like,
so. Let me.
he signed
I'll
a
check.
huge
I
extension.
can look. Also, a great thing that's come out of the LeBron thing. Brian Windhorst getting called out. That absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
To be fair, he handled it spectacular. The LeBron
Yeah.
doesn't
I'll
owe
give
me
him that.
anything. I owe him a lot. That is
Yeah.
the best way to say it.
Yeah.
God, him getting called out made me happy.
Bro, what is like? I know his job is a quote unquote NBA insider, but like
Mhm.
What
he's
does he
probably
do?
nothing.
He's claimed Giannis out of Milwaukee for 6 years in a row.
But 6 years in a row.
He claimed what did he claim? What was it? There was something ridiculous a couple years ago. He's claimed Steph Curry to Los Angeles or LeBron to Golden State for like 4 years in a row.
Mhm.
Like every single year he comes out trying to make
Yes.
super teams. And that's like his only
Yeah.
agenda. Just
He's
move
super
guys around the
unreliable.
big market team. I mean, I don't know. I don't like Brian Windhorst. Mostly because of the Giannis stuff, but I just don't like him.
And also, Wendy ended up gaining a fan base after the "what's happening in Utah" thing, and then Utah completely get rebuilt. So they thought he was a genius, even though
Yeah.
I saw that coming. I mean, Utah was rebuilding that,
Oh,
but
that's what Minnesota's going to be doing now. I think Minnesota's going to enter a rebuild very soon, in my opinion.
well, actually, I think they kind of sold themselves when they traded Cat.
That was
I
so
think they did
stupid.
too.
For
Yeah.
I
Julius
didn't understand.
Randle.
For Julius Randle. Well, because
Yeah.
like I don't think they're going to be able to pay Ant, Randall, and Gobert when
Yeah,
those
so-
contracts come around, and they're going to have to get rid of somebody. And now you're trying to replace one of those guys with either a draft pick, a trade that's going to happen before that contract runs out. So I don't know. I think they're gonna they're going back to the bottom.
They
That's what I
still
think.
have Rob though, don't they? They still have Rob, don't they?
Oh, Rob Dillingham.
Oh, I don't know if you know,
Rob-
Ben is a huge Rob Dillingham hater.
Oh.
Rob Dillingham. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Rob
mean-
Dillingham couldn't defend CaBreon Wise in the open court. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
But like in this
Nothing
new age
he-
of basketball, I feel like guard defenders are much more rare. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he could be. I think he'd be great for a team like the Hornets, where they're just up there trying to put up as many points a game, or like the Hawks. But that's not what Minnesota's ever been known for. And also,
Yeah.
I mean, again, he couldn't defend the 8th man on a mid-major roster. I mean, if you watched him play defense in college, it was like watching a traffic cone with cement in it. It was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but then again, Calipari effect, but
It is a Calipari effect.
But-
If you're going to be an undersized guard in the league, you have to be scrappy. You can't just be a quote unquote bucket getter.
Yeah, I mean, at
unless
least
you're IT and you're dropping 40 a game. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, at least get you a few steals. At least get you a few
I'm a
steals.
lot. Yeah, I'm a lot more high on Terry Shannon Jr. in Minnesota than I am on
Oh
Roger
yeah,
Ham.
I like.
I think
Oh yeah.
if you figure out how to use him and like kind of like the Kelly Oubre role, except for he's a better shooter.
Yeah,
If you figure out how to use him like that, that could be a huge piece if they can contend. But first, they have to get to like true contention, which is not having Julius Randle on your roster.
yeah. And even though Julius Randle, he's not having a bad year. I mean, he's averaging.
He's having a good year.
He's having
Yeah.
a good year. It's just that his
Cat is having a way better year.
Yeah, I mean
Mhm.
Cat having a better year, and then Randall's postseason history.
Oh yeah.
Statistically, he's one of the
Oh, yeah.
worst postseason performers of all time.
Oh yeah.
So,
They have Rudy Gobert as well, who's just now is just
I've defended him as much as I can, but
yeah, he's just
Right? Wait till the playoffs. He'll be hitting post fades on Domantas Sabonis' head in that playing game.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they'll have, as of right now, they'll either have Warriors or Clippers because they're tied in 19 games for the 6th seed. So like the bottom of that will get 7, and then Warriors or Clippers, and they'll either have the winner because I'm assuming they're gonna lose that game. That's a fair assumption. Then they'll have the winner of Kings or Mavericks, which I mean they should win that, and then they'll get there'll be 4 games by the Thunder, but maybe a gentleman's sweep if Julius Randle drops a lucky 41 or something or whatever happens in Minnesota. But
Yeah.
I don't see a path for them in the postseason at all this year.
Yeah. And can we also talk about all these Warriors fans in my DMs and they're just set and they're in the play-in tournament right now?
I mean, they were hot, CaBreon. They
I
were
don't
hot.
give a damn.
They were hot. I
One
mean, they're-
signature win
They
in
do
hand.
have the quote unquote incoming defensive player of the year too in Draymond Green.
They do. I don't
Draymond,
know.
he's only the favorite because he advocated for himself on his podcast.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he's the favorite.
Well, he did stop Giannis for that
He
second
did.
half.
He did.
Giannis-
Daniel should get on a podcast. If it's gonna work, start doing it.
Create your own narrative.
There you go.
That's
It
BS.
is easy. It is easy to create your own narrative now.
Yeah, that's BS. Dyson
Very.
Daniels should be the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I said Dyson. Yeah.
Either Dyson Daniels or Evan Mobley.
I don't understand how Dyson Daniels isn't or wasn't like when Wemby got hurt the runaway favorite.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean,
he's
Wemby, I think, was
breaking
averaging like
skills records.
3.8 blocks a game.
No, I mean after Wemby gets hurt, like right after he got hurt, Dyson Daniels was not the favorite for defense.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was he had the 3rd best odds.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Because Jaren Jackson Jr. and Evan Mobley were both above him.
yeah, I know that the NBA voters, they tend to the big men more.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
think the last guard defensive player of the year was Marcus Smart.
Marcus
Yeah,
Smart,
Marcus Smart.
he
That
didn't even
counts as-
deserve it.
Yeah, it was
That should have been Giannis and Depoy.
Yep.
yeah, I think Giannis.
I mean, but if you're looking at like big men, you want to say, I mean, Walker Kessler is the current blocks per game leader.
Yeah.
Then Miles Turner, then Brooke Lopez, then Donovan Clingan, who's having a very underrated year in Portland.
Oh, yeah,
because
Clingan
nobody
is-
cares because it's Portland, but he's been playing great over there.
Yeah.
And then Jaren Jackson Jr., who's in the top 3 odds. Dyson Daniels is almost doubling the second steals per game, and Nikola Jokic at 1. Dyson Daniels at 3.06 to then Nikola Jokic is at 1.7. Shea's at 1.7. Tyrese Maxey 1.7. So I don't understand. Like, it should be Dyson Daniels. This guy's doing stuff. I guess it's like the same thing with Wemby last year. You don't want to give it to a rookie because rookies don't play
Right.
real defense. Who
Mhm.
cares?
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah, it makes no sense why Draymond is the number one. Because for me, there's 2 like narratives for the defensive player of the year. There's the best defender on the best team, and then there's someone who's doing something historic. Or we have Dyson Daniels doing something historic, and we have Evan Mobley, who's probably the best defender on the best, quote unquote, one of the best teams. And
Yeah.
Draymond is neither. So
Yeah, I'm trying to see who has the best defense in basketball as a team. It's actually Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando.
Is that defensive
UC,
efficiency?
Boston.
Or,
That's no, that's point
or just
that's points
per game?
allowed. That's points allowed.
Orlando plays slower than most teams, so that makes sense because their pace of play is not quick at all. Because Paolo Banchero wants to put his back to the basket every single possession. From the 3-point line too. Ridiculous.
But I think defensive efficiency, I believe, is Oklahoma City at number 1, right?
Yeah, got to be.
Got it. Oh, so what you was about to ask, Dave?
No, I was just talking about Paulo before the All-Star break. How he was a great player. Continues.
Well, actually, it was before he got injured.
Yeah, before.
Like he was on an All NBA first team pace.
Yeah, he was dropping 50. I think did he drop 50?
Yeah, he dropped 50. Yeah, he dropped 50.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like we need to talk about Paulo more and more and more because I remember I think his second year he brought Orlando to the playoffs, or was that his? Yeah, I think his second year after his rookie year he brought Orlando.
Yep, his second year.
I think. I mean, the problem of pushing like narrative, especially like it's kind of like the Trae Young narrative, right? After that one playoff run, we haven't heard barely anything. We're not seeing the half court shots. We're not seeing the step backs anymore. Like we're seeing maybe one post a month about him, because like when we get to the postseason, right? Best case scenario for the Magic is they play the Cavs.
Yeah.
Best case scenario. I mean, because in my opinion, the Celtics are still the scarier team in the postseason. And they're a couple games back of the Bucks right now, that play-in line. I mean, they're 5 games back with, 8 games to go, 7 games to go?
Yeah, about like 8 games to go.
Yeah.
40, 30, 73, 9 games to go.
Yeah, so the Bucks would more or less have to, lose out. Go under 500 the rest of the way, and the Hawks would have to win out. And the Magic would also win out to get a chance to, avoid those 2 teams. And that's, when you have players like that just don't, I don't want to say don't get a chance in the postseason, but the Hawks are not beating the Celtics or Cavs in the postseason. The Magic are not beating the Celtics or Cavs in the postseason. And then guys like that are trying to build a legacy or get notoriety. You're not going to get that because you're getting your butt kicked every single postseason series. And Paolo needs a Trae Young type run, and they need to come back in the postseason and do it again. Yeah. And Trae Young still needs to do it again to get the respect that I think he deserves. I don't know.
Yeah, Trae Young should have been first, he shouldn't have to wait for somebody to get injured. He should have been definitely the first selection of that. Yeah.
He should have been over Dame. Dare I say that as a Milwaukee fan? Dare I say that as a Milwaukee fan?
I don't know about that. I know Dame could hold his own better than Trae Young on the defensive side. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, you can, but I guess.
But a better passer, I give it to Trae for sure.
And also Trae he runs the offensive engine there.
Yeah.
While Dame is the 2 option. So.
Yeah. And I get it's different because it's the MLB and there's a lot more opportunity for roster spots to be relievers and pitchers, but I like how the MLB does it where every team gets an all-star.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot harder than they make because then you essentially just have one guy from a team because there's 15 teams and it's basketball. You can't have really any more than that. If we're going to start experimenting with these 4 teams a tournament with, we're going to do all this, whatever. I know Adam Silver came out and said he regretted it this week.
Yep, and they said they're not doing it next year.
Yeah, but if we're going to keep expanding rosters or whatever we're going to do, I would like to see one person from a team make it. Just to see. I don't know.
Wasn't the All-Star game 15-man, or am I tripping?
It is. But if everybody gets one player, then you're looking at Dame would never make an all-star team. Jaylen Brown would never make an all-star team. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, those guys, you're only getting one.
Jalen Williams wouldn't make it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So it's hard, yeah.
Or you look at the Clippers in their prime, right? You'd have James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. Only one of those guys could make it because they're all 3 on the same team. So if they were all in their primes playing as well as they could be.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work, but I think it'd be fun just to have teams represented on the national stage.
Yeah.
Also, you notice all of those topics we talked about? That's what ESPN could be covering.
Instead of talking about LeBron James
Instead
fighting
of
Stephen A.
LeBron and
Smith
Stephen
on
A.
national TV. Hey,
'Cause
but
of
I'm
course,
entertained though. I am entertained.
it's entertaining. Unfortunately,
It is working. Yeah.
it is working. And unfortunately, it's validating Stephen A's $100 million contract.
Oh yeah, for sure. He just
Is that what? How is that a contract structured? Do we know?
5
Probably
years,
not.
20
5
million?
years, $100 million.
Is it,
Oh,
is
yeah,
it
so
like
yeah, 20 million a year.
this might be a dumb question. Is it like a real contract or like a sports contract? Does he have guaranteed money in that contract, or is he just?
I don't
believe
know.
it's
I don't know if there's. I don't know if they say anything about guaranteed money in
the media.
sports media contracts.
Yeah.
Because at some point he is gonna have to dig out of this hole to regain his like immediate respect, and if he doesn't, he might not make it 5 years.
I mean,
Huh?
ESPN
Nine
might not
figures.
make it because ESPN is just horrible media. TNT,
Yeah.
horrible media.
I mean, ESPN is covering every sport terribly, with the exception of the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, NFL. Yeah.
Like college football this year was a fucking disaster.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. I don't. I just feel like there's too many. Oh, we probably just gave up a home run because Zach just said a naughty word. Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, I've
For sure.
just seen Goldsmith. Yep.
But
Oh, and we gave up another one. Oh shit.
are we serious?
Cody Bellinger.
Has he seen it?
Ah, damn it.
Oh my god, he hasn't seen it yet. Wait for the reaction. Just they're still replaying the call goals. That's your Cortez. Go fucking stick up that fucking ass. But yeah, so Brewers are doing great.
Yep. I'm not saying anything now. I'm not saying anything now.
Are we serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying anything now.
Oh my god. All three. It's only been 3 pitches. Holy shit.
Who's pitching to today?
What? Nestor Cortez, first ever appearance.
Well, welcome to the majors.
Well, no,
Just
first ever
Milwaukee
appearance for us.
sports.
He previously played for the Yankees, which makes this even worse.
Oh.
This Wisconsin sports is just doing horrible. I see.
We're falling apart.
And
right
we're
now.
falling apart. Like it.
We used to
I
be
mean,
elite.
the Packers is our only hope.
No way. I know. This is ridiculous.
The Packers could be our only hope.
with you? What are we doing? Dude, kill yourself. He hasn't thrown a pitch that we've caught yet.
Yeah, I think we got to edit that one out.
You think? Oh my! What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a strike. We got a ball that Contreras caught.
All right, well, there we go. But
That's ridiculous.
yeah, when we come back though, we're gonna pick right back up with Stephen A versus LeBron, and then we're gonna get to some quick hitter highlights.
What can I do with
Headline.
the guy's hair? Each his hair. Got it.
Yep. And we're back. Picking things back off with LeBron versus Stephen A. Charles Barkley apparently weighed in. He apparently called LeBron and Stephen A both losers, and calling them losers because they let it go so personally. Then on the Dan Patrick show, he criticized LeBron as being a bully, using his power to attack media members. And his quote was, "He's too big to be that type of bully. It turned me off." And he was referring to LeBron confronting Stephen A. and also taking shots at Brian Windhorst. Barkley also said he called Stephen A's reaction lame, but he ultimately blames LeBron for starting the bullying. So, and he says there's only losers in this scenario. So, who wants to kick things off about their thoughts about Charles Barkley's comments? Go ahead, Ben.
I think I agree. I know this show is not a huge fan of Mr. Charles Barkley and his place in especially basketball media, but sports media in general. But he is correct that there is a time and a place to have that conversation. In the middle of a game that's going, this wasn't halftime. This wasn't after the game. This was during a timeout. The game was going on. This was an active, like the game was happening. And he goes over there and has that conversation. I don't think that's the right time to do it for a couple of reasons. One, because it's, in my opinion, way too public to have this, what seems as a preliminary conversation. The first time this conversation has been had between the two, based off the reactions of the gentleman. But also that, like, it creates a finite time on that conversation where you have your minute 30 or whatever it is in the NBA that they give for media timeouts. I don't know what it is. Minute 30, whatever they do.
Yeah, minute 30 now.
And that, like, it literally would just, you get a minute 30 back and forth, then you have to be done with it, right? I don't think that was a good decision either. I think that he could have, like, this could have started with him just doing this over Twitter, where everything happens nowadays, or him, if anything, calling him, or him show up to his house. You're LeBron James, you can do that. Right, you know what I mean? I think in the middle of, or even after the game, at halftime, like anything, I think during the game was the worst time to do it. That's why I agree with Charles Barkley, that you picked the wrong time and you did it in a wrong way. And then Stephen A, he's just being an idiot. I mean, Barkley called him lame and weak. Stephen A just being an idiot. And I agree. And in the way that it turned out, it is only losers in this scenario. Because LeBron, even though he's winning the interaction, it's not a good look. Right? People can laugh. People can think it's funny that the basketball media is finally getting called out for their BS, but it isn't a good look for a player who's the face of the league to be degrading sports media like this.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Or at least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. Yeah, definitely not the time or place to do it. But, I guess when you're the best player to ever play the game, you can do things like that, going over type of conversation with somebody during a timeout. But yeah, I felt like it was definitely unprofessional to do it at a time like that. But the call, I don't see. I agree with Ben. Yeah, I would say they both are losers. It may not seem that way, but there are people who are losing respect for both individuals from this situation.
I hear you, but I disagree.
Oh, foot's coming down.
Fuck all that.
There it is.
This man, Stephen A. Smith, in which on a show that averages 501,000 viewers daily.
Right.
It used to average more.
Criticized him as a father.
Yeah.
So also think about this. Knowing someone disrespected you personally, and you so happen to see them right away, your mind probably isn't at the right place and it goes straight to flight mode.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there go that motherfucker right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me holler at him real quick. That's probably how LeBron's mind went. But you disrespected me as a man as a father talking to over 501,000 people. So why not I address you in front of what? How much crypto.com arena holds? What?
80 or 77,000.
70,000? How much?
I'd guess 77,000. That'd be my guess. I can look it up.
And plus, it's not a bad look. I would disagree.
Sure.
Also, this
Any capper, I fucking love you.
first scored.
Oh, good.
But it's 20,000. I don't know why I said so high because it's an NBA stadium, not like a college stadium. But it's 20,000.
Shoot, 77.
Yeah, that was a dumb guess. But
that was off. But like, still, bad look. I would disagree because LeBron, for a very, very long time, has let these sports media personalities shit on him, not only as a player, as a man, has been criticized as a father, and he's been letting it go by the wayside. And now we have seen, like, over the past year, that LeBron no longer gives a damn no more.
yeah, oh yeah,
He doesn't give a damn no more.
He's on the retirement. You can tell.
So, in my opinion, fuck all of that now. Fuck all of that now.
Right.
You
See,
go ahead,
sorry.
Dave. No, go ahead, Dave.
No, that was me. That was me.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Like, I see where you're coming from, but disrespect or not, there's still a time or a place, and I think we're looking at it because it's LeBron. If Kwame Brown would have walked his ass up to Stephen A. after what he said in the middle of a timeout,
I don't mind it.
He would have been crucified by everybody in the middle of a game. Just because it's LeBron doesn't mean it's not wrong. You know what I mean? Going in the middle
No.
of a conversation,
I would
saying
have
it's
the
the
same
wrong thing to
energy
do.
if Kwame Brown did.
No, you would
Actually,
not. No,
Kwame
you would
Brown,
not.
I should say.
What?
Kwame Brown. It's not Kwame Brown.
Sorry,
Stephen A. did that.
My bad.
You see the damage Stephen A. is doing?
I don't. I think it was handled poorly by both people in that moment. I think since then, since that moment,
Yeah.
LeBron has handled it spectacularly.
Okay.
Because he went on Pat McAfee, which is like the anti-ESPN show, even though it's on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
He went on. I mean, he talked about.
Dave, let's go.
Are we flipping serious?
There you
We
go.
talked about.
Jess Chisholm's a fucking idiot.
Might have to cut that out too. But like he called out like all these different people. He spread his net on the show that it's like a place where you spread your net. You know what I mean? Like where you get to talk shit about kind of whoever you want, because that's what the McAfee boys do.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that moment you cannot do it during the game, because that shows that you are now letting your personal feelings and your personal agendas or your personal what you want to do be in front of the team, be in front of winning the game. And that should never be the case.
I know that.
But
Just one more, especially for someone that is already crucified in the media for being selfish, for being a ring chaser, someone that's always about himself, which is what LeBron has been scrutinized as throughout his career. When he went to Miami, a plethora of things that, as you know, the Jordan lovers, as we call them, would say.
Mhm.
And it doesn't help his brand, it doesn't help his look, and it was the wrong time.
Yeah, it was. I agree with that. But his message wasn't wrong per se. It was just the wrong
No,
place.
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
It needed to
Yeah.
be said. It needed to be said. I think he said it at the wrong time.
Yeah. He wasn't thinking rationally. But yeah, the message was all right. It's just the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get where y'all coming from. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, when you see a person who disrespected you, sometimes your mind goes to flight mode and you just want to immediately confront him.
But it can't. That's the thing, because he's a professional athlete.
No. I would say
that's where it comes
disrespect
in.
him. It was disrespecting Bronny, which is probably even worse than LeBron's. But to be fair, LeBron said, I think he quoted. I think if I'm quoting this right, he said, "I don't care if you're talking about me per se. It's just bringing my son into this. It's
Either
a whole
like
nother
just
level." Yeah,
don't keep my son out of it.
yeah,
And that's what that's where it came down from, because LeBron
yeah.
is upset with he's criticizing, like Stephen A criticizing LeBron for putting Bronny in a situation, pretty much being a father.
Right. Giving his son a platform to chase his dreams. Yeah, I don't
Yes.
understand. I feel like any father would do the same thing.
Yeah. If they knew that they had the power to do it, they do it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I
then the
don't
question
get.
comes up: how does a player? And I understand he's a great player, but how does a player have the ability to walk away from the huddle in the middle of a game into the stands and have a conversation with a fan in the middle of a game?
Be LeBron James. That's
It's
why.
LeBron
Well, but
James.
LeBron.
that can't be the answer though, because if the answer is it's because it's LeBron James, it goes back to what I just brought up before, that the special treatment, the self-centeredness, Yelich just got hit, self-centeredness, like stuff like that, where like the things that he's been always scrutinized and attacked for throughout his career, this is what this is proving. Where like he's putting himself. Did you guys hear that? I get picked up on the mic.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it, but I'm sure it's bad.
All right, I mean you'll hear it. You'll hear it in the post. But like yeah, it's not a good look. It was handled wrong. I don't think there's a way you can say like a player. And again, you can't look at it as LeBron James. You have to look at it as a player left the huddle in the middle of the game that I think he was playing in. Was he not?
He was
Yeah, he
playing,
was.
but I don't think he entered the game after that timeout.
Okay, but he's still active in the game, and he just walks away from the huddle in the game that he was active in, a game that he had participated in, abandoned his teammates, abandoned his coaches, abandoned his team to go have a personal conversation with a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take the LeBron James out of it, that is utterly unacceptable. You put the LeBron James in, it starts to teeter, but I still think in that moment you cannot do that.
Yeah, you can. I agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe so, but not one teammate seemed unhappy with it. Not one coach seemed unhappy with it.
That's because it's
It's
LeBron
LeBron
James. That's the
yeah.
thing. Exactly.
I think
Because
any other
LeBron
player
James
would have been
is
fine too.
also, and you also have to look at what if something did happen. And I know it would never, because Stephen A is a bitch, right? And that's but like, what if something did start physical? That's a player in the stands starting a fight. That's a 50-game suspension if we go back to the Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
So what? You're gonna have LeBron James suspended for 50+ games?
Right.
But then again, a pro athlete, except if your name Draymond Green, knows better than that.
But does Stephen A know better than that?
Yes, he's
remember,
a bitch. He ain't gonna do nothing.
But if Stephen A swings first,
Stephen ain't swinging first.
Still home.
But what
But
if he did?
Still home.
What
if
he did?
he swung first, yeah.
You're about to hear yell in like 5 seconds because Contreras just struck out.
Oh hell!
Wait for it. I don't know what the delay is because I'm looking at it on the CBS Sports app. Shout out CBS Sports app. Love it. Love it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Take a deep breath. We move on. All right.
Still home.
Oh, never mind. It's
Still
coming.
home.
It's
Still
coming.
home.
3, 2, 1. Oh, just a head shake. We're good. Never mind. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think it was mishandled by both parties, and in the moment that was mishandled by LeBron. And since then it's been mishandled by Stephen A. Smith, because I hate the world of that, because I think I commented to you about, I don't remember whose comments it was, where like people are allowed to admit their mistakes in sports media,
Oh yeah.
but you're not allowed to blatantly lie
Blatantly lie.
and then
Yes.
accept or expect repentance when you apologize for that lie.
Mhm.
That's not how that works. Like, you should be able to, like, if you make a mistake, right? If you make a false claim, you should be able to say I was wrong, and that should be something that we praise in sports media.
Mhm.
If you just lie like Stephen A. did, where that was a white-faced lie, there was no
A lie
Like,
with
everybody
the
knew it was
intent
untrue.
to lie.
Yeah, exactly. And just lie and then expects like, oh yeah, he was actually there. Yeah, my bad.
And then also said I knew he was there.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I don't know. I feel like we should talk about the commissioner because I hadn't heard about this yet, and this is interesting
Yes.
now that I'm reading it. I missed it when I went through this in the pre, but
Yep. So Adam Silver, like he pretty much said what we said. Adam Silver denounced the LeBron Stephen A feud as an unwelcome distraction, indicating that such personal beef is not good for the league's image. There were even suggestions that the NBA or team PR should step in and cool things down.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, I agree that it's a distraction. I agree that it's an unwelcome one, but it's already gone this far. You might as well let it run its course. There's 9 games left in the season, right?
Well,
Let 'em
I
go
mean,
at each other
LeBron
for
needs
another
to.
2
I
weeks.
think LeBron needs to go 0-30 again. But
I don't know. The NBA stepping in to stop a reporter-player feud would not be a good look.
not a good look.
Not a good look at all. Because one, it's censorship of media.
I mean, it's already kind of bad that the commissioner had to step in and say something.
Yeah. I think that was just bad timing because he does a couple of these interviews every year.
Yeah.
And, you know, he would have had to answer the question. I think he answered it probably the best he could have. I mean, he called it an unwelcome distraction, which is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, if God forbid he called it, you know, an exciting new part of the game, and now this is happening every year with a player. So he answered the question the best he could, and you knew it was going to get brought up. I don't think he like had to step in. I don't think he will have to step in. I just think it was bad timing of this was in sports news, and then he goes and does his yearly interview or one of his yearly interviews, and I mean you have to answer. You can't not answer the question. That's even worse. Can't plead the fifth if you're a commissioner. You have to answer that question.
True.
So I don't know. I feel like it's gonna die down now. I feel like they're out of stuff to talk about. Like they're out of. I mean, Stephen A. is not gonna let it die down, but I feel like LeBron said what he had to say. I think it's gonna die down.
Yeah, I think LeBron is done unless if Stephen A. gets even more personal.
I think Stephen A. would have to attack.
Like he would have to attack
his
either Bryce or his wife.
Or Savannah. Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, I think he learned his lesson by now.
Yeah. I think we should be able to suspend sports personalities. Put Stephen A. in timeout for 2 weeks until the playoffs start.
They're allowed to, but Stephen A.
Let's start
some rumors. Let's write up some allegations. Start some rumors. Get an investigation going. Suspend him for a couple
Stephen
weeks.
A. has a very valid reason of getting suspended.
Absolutely. But again, the ratings are up.
That's the problem.
And then you suspend the guy that's the reason that your ratings are up.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I don't want to hear Tim Perkins talking.
Well, then again, they still have Shannon Sharp, and he could lead First Take for a week, but
could he? Could he lead
I
First Take
feel
for
like
a week?
Nah.
For a week,
he's not
Shannon
ready
Sharp
yet.
is a one-liner. He's a quick hitter. I don't think he can carry a conversation.
UFC, KFC.
He'd say something absolutely ridiculous if he had to talk for the main part of the show instead of just chirping in for something funny every 1 or 2 minutes.
Well, actually, Shannon could lead it during the NFL season.
Oh, absolutely, he could.
Not now.
Absolutely, he could.
Yeah,
Leg is involved.
Yeah, don't nobody want to hear. The lines are good. Don't get me wrong, but
they're great. Yeah. They're spectacular. And he keeps coming up with them too. That's the best part. Like they haven't stopped. They just keep.
Yeah, he keeps coming up with more. Like
I wouldn't even say Shannon could lead a week in the NFL. He's been fact checked before.
He has been. He's been fact checked bad before.
Badly, yeah.
When was the last time? When was talking about his brother? Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot who fact checked him.
Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky. Yeah, your brother. Your
brother.
And
that
then,
was I love
yeah, that
that
was
clip.
hilarious.
Yeah. But I think that pretty much covers the ground about it. We just need to let this thing end, and I'm praying that NBC and Amazon saves basketball media. So,
Oh, they won't. They won't.
NBC might. NBC might.
NBC
Amazon.
could.
No, Amazon's gonna put together a cast of like I don't know. It's gonna be Amazon. It's gonna get worse with Amazon. I promise you.
Well, I do know
cast
they
is gonna be
did.
ridiculous.
I think they are hiring Gilbert Arenas, which is not a good start.
Oh my gosh.
That's a really. It's gonna be like Gilbert Arenas. They'll probably bring back Charles Barkley on Amazon. It'll be like Gilbert Arenas, Charles Barkley, Candace Parker,
Oh no,
and Jay Will.
Charles Barkley is going to be on ESPN
Oh,
because you know the inside the NBA is now going to be broadcasted on ESPN.
I did not know that. I had not picked up on that. Do you know what's gonna be a great time in basketball media though? When Draymond Green finally retires, and we get to listen to him
Oh,
every single day because he's joining that crew. There's no doubt about it.
yeah, he's joining.
And he's already done stuff with ESPN. He's already done the All-Star game announcements. He's already done when he was hurt that year. He's already done stuff like when Clay was doing. It's a lock. As the moment he retires, he could retire in the middle of the season and the next day be on that crew.
Yeah, like I don't think Draymond really cares that much about. I mean, he still cares highly for basketball, but Draymond knows he's gonna have an income right after he retires.
And he just wants to talk shit for a
He wants
living.
to
That's
talk
what he's doing
shit.
now.
That's what.
Yeah, and you can't get thrown out of the studio for talking shit like you can in an NBA game.
Right.
What was that? What was that line? I don't remember who said it to. It was a guy in the Hawks. You've been traded 6 times.
Oh, that was Karis
Who was
LeVert.
it?
Cares LeVert.
Yeah,
And then
Karis
Trae
LeVert.
Young told they were just talking shit. Dre, calm down. No, hey, I love it. I love it. It
But I
makes
think we,
basketball exciting.
yeah, but we do need more former player analysts. Like I seen a clip of John Wall talking about
Yeah, John Wall's on NBA TV.
yeah,
Mhm.
he was talking about how sometimes Jason Tatum guards the center. I never knew anything like that. Sometimes Jason Tatum guards the center while Al Horford guards the four. Just stuff like that. We need more
Was
of.
that about so they can switch high like on ball
Yeah,
screens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was actually a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like there should be a reset every 10, 15 years where like new retired players, because all due respect to Charles and Shaq, they know a lot about the game that they played in. They know a lot about the game that Kobe played in. They don't know a damn
They
thing
don't know
about
a
the
damn
game
thing about this generation.
that
I
Jason
say
Tatum played in. So
Kenny knows his stuff though. Kenny knows his stuff. I
Kenny-
feel like
Kenny
Kenny
ain't
does.
that much better.
He's-
Kenny's
oh
not
my
that much better.
yeah.
Yankees home run.
I just saw. God,
Yankees home run. It's freaking ridiculous.
yeah.
All right. Anyways, do we have any baseball today? We don't.
No
What
baseball
what
just yet.
are we doing, CaBreon?
Well,
Kick off of the MLB season.
my baseball people aren't available.
He's right there.
He said he wasn't available.
No, he did have plans when he said he wasn't. So fair to him. Oh, it was a Mickey Mouse home run too. Are we flipping serious? 88 exit below.
Well,
Gosh dang.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
We're gonna move forward with the LeBron, and we got a lightning round of some quick hitter headlines. We got 3 topics that we're gonna quickly discuss, and then we're out of here.
All right.
We're going to kick things off with Coach Prime getting a $54 million extension for 5 years, keeping him under contract through 2029. And he is one of the nation's highest paid college coaches. Ben, your thoughts?
Hell yeah. I mean, there was the rumors of him possibly following his sons to the league. There was the rumors of him maybe going to a different school where they, I don't say a better chance to win, but I mean, but I think he's not in a bad place in Boulder. I mean, they have a huge NIL fund now that they've collected because of not even the successes that he's had, but the media that he's covered, right?
Yeah.
And they took that first, like, I've never seen a coach scrutinize as much as Coach Prime for doubling their win total.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he did it both years where, like, they went from what, 1 win to 3 wins and 3 wins
They
to
went
5
they went 1 win to 4,
to
and then
4.
4 to 9, right?
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, there's no reason to be upset about that. And then they got great recruits because, again, like it says, like they started great. So they recruit, biggest part of the recruiting season, you start good, right? Because guys are going to recruit, you want to get those guys. And it finished great, but whatever, right? The Nebraska game would have been huge if they win that and don't get dominated in the first half.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think it's great for the sport that someone as big as a name as Coach Prime, where like he's the epitome of modern college sports, the NIL era, where flashy, like big stuff. He's committing to stay in one place, to stay in one program. I think that's big for the sport, and hopefully, like it because I really hate the college coaches. I know, better situation for yourself, but you see the March Madness every year, or like the guys they already have a new job before their season's over in March Madness.
The McNeese head coach.
Yeah, the McNeese coach. Like I hate that, and I hope this can be a step forward in the change of that, where guys are committing to a program, building their program. And I know it's hard to build a program at McNeese, but at least fight with your guys until the fight's over. But yeah, I like this. I love this actually. And I think they should. I think they're going to be around 9 wins again this year. I don't think they'll be, 12-0 Big 12 champions, but
yeah, I don't think they're going to
it's good
improve
to
much
see.
because they've lost a lot of people, including their 2 best players.
Well, also best player in the country. I mean,
Oh yeah,
no matter how you swing that, it's tough to replicate.
Yeah.
So, but you never know. You never know. I mean, and it keeps him in college sports, where I mean, you want a guy like that in college sports. And losing him to the NFL would have been bad for the NCAA, like for NCAA football, because I mean, he brings a lot of attention, he brings a lot of views, he brings a lot of money, he brings a lot of fans to college football, and taking that away would have sucked. But we keep him there, and that's big. Love it.
Yeah. Dave.
Yeah, I just feel like what Ben said, just the recruiting. He's a great recruiter. The culture change he had over Boulder these past years, and then I hope we can do it. He can do it without Hunter and his son Shadur. But I feel like this is great. He's gonna obviously continue the culture change. Hopefully, he turns Colorado into an elite program, and then hopefully other departments of the sports take notice, like basketball, other sports. And then, I feel like it's a great move for Boulder to sign him to 5 years, 54 million, right?
54 million.
54.
Yep.
Which that makes him one of the highest paid just coaches in the country, does it not? Like,
I believe
regardless
it
of college
does.
or not, I mean, that stacks up against NFL contracts pretty well. So
Yeah.
love that.
54 by 5. That's 10.8 million a year, almost 11 million a year. So that's good money. So I agree with you too. I think it's a very good move. I think Prime is he's going to get Colorado to that contending status sooner than later. Not just yet, but they're making strides. They got the rookie, not the rookie, the recruit, Julian Lewis.
Dog.
And he's a very good recruit. They got Caden Slater, correct? The transfer?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Let me look.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like this move for Colorado a lot. Prime is going to get them in position, and they're going to be just fine. And this is amazing for NCAA football because I'm not trying to get SEC'd out of college football. So moving on. Oh, wait, go ahead, Ben.
Well, I also think it's important that a contract like this is happening outside of a conference like the SEC or the Big Ten.
Yes.
I think that's a big step forward for, I don't want to say like the non-power 2 conferences of college football. Like, because there really is a power 2 in college football. It's the Big Ten and the SEC. That's who's going to fight to win. There might be one team that fights to win outside of that, but it's Big Ten and SEC, and this happening outside of those two in the Big 12, which historically hasn't really been a football conflict. It's great to see. We love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, to piss y'all off, moving next, Dame's injury and the Bucks playoff chances. Dame unfortunately was diagnosed with a blood clot in his right calf. He's on blood thinners and will be out indefinitely. He's likely done for the regular season, but there is hope that he can come back for the playoffs. But unfortunately, Milwaukee has been struggling, including losing to New York last night.
I mean, we fought in that game.
You say what?
We fought last night. It started bad. We fought back. Made it a game. I mean, we had to watch 34 minutes of Brook Lopez defense on Karl Anthony Towns. But...
Oh my god!
Oh Jesus!
Why is he still a Buck? Oh my god! He has to go.
I think this injury, it really is. It's going to highlight the problems with that Chris Middleton trade. Where yes, at the time it was a great trade where we were picking up Kyle Kuzma as a third option, and we picked up some rebounding, which he has been doing. We picked up some size on defense, which has been a little helpful. Obviously, his idiocy on offense has not changed, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but like having him as a third option was like that was a hell yeah. And now here comes a problem with the trade because Kyle Kuzma as a second option has led to the 20 and 53 Wizards. Is that what they're at right now?
The Wizards?
No, 16 and 57 Wizards. That's what Kyle Kuzma as the second option has led to.
Terrible. Yep.
So, I don't know. I mean, I agreed with the Chris Middleton trade. We should have made that trade, but it's going to look really bad now that we don't have him, and instead we have Kyle Kuzma taking 12, 13, 14, 15 shots a game, shooting 34% from the floor, and I mean, if we don't have Dame in the playoffs, we're going to get swept by the Knicks. That's what it is. I think that's glaringly. It was glaringly obvious last night.
Yeah. We have not yet to win a game against the Cavs, Celtics, or even the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna get. I mean, we're gonna get swept. It is what it is. If we jump the Pistons, which we're a game and a half back of them right now, we have that game to play. So if theoretically we win the game, we're a game back of the Pistons. And I believe we still play them this year, maybe.
Yeah,
we play them twice. We play them twice to close out the year.
Yeah.
So if we can hang with them, win both those games, we get the 5 seed. We play the Pacers without Dame. We still get swept.
But what helps us? The Pistons have 2 upcoming games against the Wolves and the Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, Thunder need to win that one.
Yeah, and both of those games are on the road. So
yeah, I mean, you look at the Pistons; they should lose to the Thunder. They'll beat the Raptors. Grizzlies without their coach is a coin flip. They'll beat the Kings. They'll lose to the Knicks, and then it's
and then the Bucks to close out the season.
Finish out the year. Yeah,
yeah. So that's pretty much going to be the battle for the 5th seed, pretty much.
Yeah, and we need that 5th seed because I mean,
we need it desperately. Yeah.
We need it awfully.
Well, not only does it keeps us away from the Knicks, but it keeps us away from the Celtics for as long as possible. I know the Cavs have been great this year. I'd still rather play the Cavs than the Celtics.
I would too.
I mean, and it sounds bad, but even if the Cavs beat us, I'd rather lose to the Cavs
than the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd rather lose to them in the semifinal than lose to the Celtics in the conference final. I know it sounds horrible, but I just don't want to lose the Celtics again. I'm tired of that BS.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think the season it's not over. Obviously, Dame can still come back, but we've lost 6 out of our last 10. We are fading, and not only Dame off the floor. You think the defense would get better? It's not.
It's not.
It's gotten worse. So it's just bad. It's bad. No, blood clots also 4 of them this year now.
Yeah.
With Amen Thompson, Victor Wembanyama, Damian Lillard, and then there was a G Leaguer that was having a problem with blood clots this year. So 4 of them. That's what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Figure that out. But yeah, this is bad. This is very bad.
Yeah, Dave got 2 minutes.
Brook Lopez, he needs to go. Keep keep Bobby on suspension. I don't want to see him shoot fade away mid range for like half of our possessions. Man, I miss Chris Middleton. Just seeing, I even forgot his name. Kyle Kuzma as our third option is just horrible. If we don't make it to the conference finals this year, Giannis is gone. I hope you guys know that too. He's gone.
There's a chance.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, he's gone.
There's a chance.
Yeah,
There's a chance that both of them are gone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a rebuild though. I wouldn't mind.
We might need to do so.
I would mind a rebuild.
You see, I'm a Giannis fan. I'm not a Bucks fan. I'm a Giannis fan. So wherever he goes, I'll just bandwagon there. But yeah, the best. If we don't get at least to the conference finals this year, a rebuild should be happening. And if I was a GM, my first action would be getting rid of Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez. They're just,
So you're saying get rid of 4 of our top 6 minutes getters and build around Kyle Kuzma?
Tank. You're gonna have to tank. That's what a rebuild is.
Tank for AJ.
Yeah, that's who we'd be tanking, the BYU guy. Yeah,
for
that's who we'd be tanking for.
Yeah.
Or Darren Peterson. That's actually a loaded draft class next year, but that's a different topic for another day.
If they perform.
If they perform.
Because we forget to realize the Bucks, their draft. We drafted. I feel like Jabari Parker without injuries, he would have been a great player.
He would have been a great player.
Yeah, I feel like our drafting is declining over the years since we had Giannis, and we don't really have to go to the draft. But I feel like our drafting is really underrated. Since then, we've been able to draft a good amount of players. Well, not Bogut. I don't feel like we wasted the number 1 pick on Bogut. But other than that,
but I mean, then again, that was past administration. We have a brand new owner and a brand new GM. By the way, our new owner needs to. And we're back after we were so rudely interrupted by Zoom. But we have an upcoming reaction.
Mickey Mouse.
Got nothing?
Nothing at all. I mean, it's 12-3. Not a lot of. We haven't even out this inning. Walk, single, hit by pitch, infield single, home run, grand slam.
Oh Lord!
And that brings Cortez's run total up to 8 on the day. 8 runs, 6 hits, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh my goodness!
Bad, very bad. That's right, though. Let's talk about Cooper Flagg.
Yes, Cooper Flagg. Most hype prospect we've had since Wemby, not that far.
Yeah, not too long.
Yeah,
but second best since the LeBron James, you could argue, in terms of complete players. As you said earlier, 6'9" floor general. I mean,
in the Sweet 16, he had 37, 6, and 3 blocks. He's a franchise-changing talent. He can immediately be an all-star. Immediately.
Oh yeah.
But Adam Silver brought up he is upset with the amount of tanking that is going on. And with the guy as of Cooper Flagg, it's gonna come up. So Adam Silver said he acknowledged there's an incredibly strong draft at the top. The incentive for teams to lose late in the season increases. He pointed to recent suspicious moves, as the 76ers and even the Thunder sat key starters when facing each other because of pick protections, and the NBA ended up fining the Jazz $100,000. So,
Yeah.
what is your thought about the entire tanking process?
This game's a fucking joke.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to edit that out. But I don't have a huge problem with tanking. I think you could fix the tanking problem by just structuring like how they're doing with the NBA awards, structuring players' contracts. Like, hey, if you don't play this amount of games, you don't get paid this amount, and then they're going to be on the floor. That's the problem. Isn't that teams are losing? The problem is teams are losing with G leaguers on the floor because G leaguers don't make money, right? Even like the Wizards, when they have Alex Sarr, who's a fun player to watch. They had Kyle Kuzma, they had Jordan Poole, who are, depending on the day, fun or very frustrating players to watch. They don't have bad players, but when all three of those guys are sitting for weeks on end, and now Johnny Davis is your leading scorer, that's unacceptable because I don't. It's a business, and you have to product out business. And if there's poor product, it's poor business. And tanking is poor product. However, as we get later into the season, and there are teams that need to win games, there are teams that need to lose games. I don't see any problem with going over from like, hey, we kind of need to lose this one. You kind of need to win this one. So, we'll take a little easy on defense tonight. Maybe, run a couple of our extras, like run a 12-man rotation instead of a 9-man or an 8-man. And you guys, I don't want to say can take this one, but hey, that's what it is. And like even teams like the Thunder right now, right? You don't want to call it tanking, but they could sit their top 8 players the rest of the season, be the overall 1 seed, or they'd probably be the overall 2 seed behind the Cavs, but they get home court advantage through the West. And that's not tanking, but that's still bad product. And but at that point, what you could argue, like, hey, they earned the right to sit those players.
Yeah.
So you're going to put a rule that doesn't allow teams that have already won those games? Like last game of the year, the Thunder aren't going to play their starters.
No.
That is almost a guarantee.
That's
probably the last 2 or 3 games, they don't play more than 30 minutes. They don't play more than 28 minutes. Or so if teams like that, if you putting like tanking rules in where these starters have to play certain amount of time, that's going to affect that type of stuff. So it's a very delicate thing that you have to work through. And I don't think there's really a way where you can like stop it from happening. You can certainly punish it, but it's just going to keep happening. And $100K to a billionaire, that's $1.
That's $1.
That's $1.
Yeah.
Like, and it is. I don't know. I don't think there's a way to stop it cleanly.
No, there's no way that you could do that. Tanking in terms of me, I hate what the Sixers did with the process, and that's why I'm happy the basketball gods have punished them over the last years. I hate the process thing where you tank for about 3-4 years so you can accumulate cap space and a whole bunch of draft picks.
Oh yeah,
that's what I don't like. I like targeted tanking. You take a year
for Wemby,
for Flagg, for Zion, for LeBron. I like those type of. Well, I wouldn't say like, but I more understand it and am more okay with it because you think that that this one guy can change your franchise. So I'm gonna take this year. We don't have the best roster. So we might not have the staff that we want in place to develop this franchise star. So we're going to take this year off. We're going to be awful. But we're going to try to get our guy. And even if you don't get your guy, you can still end up. You're going to get a very good guy who could end up becoming that guy. So that's where I'm at with it. But also again, like fan engagement, Utah actually knows that they're terrible and they're still selling out games.
They are. It's because there's nothing to do in Utah.
There's nothing to do in Salt Lake City, but
Yeah. But I don't know. And like with the Cooper Flagg sweepstakes, right? You're looking at teams that have a chance for him. He goes to the Wizards, play
Yep.
alongside Jordan Poole. He's gonna average like 15 points a game on not a lot of shots because there's guys there that are gonna get their own shots up, which is unfortunate. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If he goes to the Hornets, same thing. If he goes and plays with LaMelo, I mean, Cooper Flagg is a ball dominant player. He's a great passer. He's a great decision maker. I feel like there are a lot of bad places that he could land. I think the Jazz would be a good place for him to land, where he's going to have the ball in his hands and he's going to be the guy. Pelicans would be a bad place
Yeah.
because they have a lot of guys that need the ball in their hands. Spurs would be an interesting place. I mean, that'd be a heck of a roster. Chris
Yeah,
Paul,
Fox,
Stephon Castle,
Castle,
Cooper Flagg, De'Aaron
Flagg.
Fox, Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
That's
a nasty starting lineup.
that's a playoff seed. That's a top 6 team in the West.
And also, if they probably keep Chris Paul as a bench guy,
Well, they should absolutely keep Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul could still start. I mean, next year.
like
think
probably
he could-
have Chris at the point and De'Aaron as the 2.
I mean, Chris could run. Well, yeah, because I mean, you have 3 point guards on that team: Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Chris Paul. So you might as well start 2 of them. And you're not benching Chris Paul for Stephon Castle. All due respect to him, I love Stephon Castle. Loved watching him in UConn, but you're not benching Chris Paul for him.
I don't know. They just might, and plus it might look a little different now because Pop hasn't been coaching this year.
That is true. Well, Pop might not be coaching next year. Pop might not be alive
Yeah,
next year. He needs to figure that out. I mean, love Pop, but I mean, they got a lot. He's had a bad couple years now.
Yeah,
And obviously it's a sad reality, but I mean, we want Pop healthy, and that might mean that he has to step
he
away.
might
from
need to step away from basketball. Yeah,
But I mean, Harrison Barnes is getting minutes right now. His role will be taken over by Cooper Flagg. He'll be pushed to the bench.
he'll
But
be
he's even
pushed to
on
the
contract
bench, or
next year
he
for them.
might not even be.
Yeah. Chris Paul's played, and also I mean, Jeremy Sohan and Devin Vassell have been getting solid minutes. Like, where do those guys' minutes go? One of them probably won't get any minutes at all next year with Cooper there.
I think it
Or
might
at
be
least they'll get a
Sohan.
lot less.
Really. I think it
Sohan,
might be Sohan.
the Sohan experiment's over, in my opinion. I understand
it
he's a
should
pretty decent basketball player, but you try to change who he completely was as a player,
Yeah,
and it didn't work. Time to give him to another team, let him reset himself in another, because he's not a bad basketball player. It's just you try to turn him into a point guard for no reason at all. Try to Ben Simmons him, and he turned into what Ben Simmons is, and that's not good at this point. But I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see him go to the Spurs. I feel like it'd be a good fit for the Spurs, and they have like the 6th or 7th best odds to land him. If he goes to Toronto, I feel like he'd fit in with that team well.
they have Brandon. Well, I think Brandon Ingram gets traded.
Yeah, I think Brandon Ingram he's fallen apart the last few years.
His ankle, constant ankle sprains, and
I'm praying he does not go to Philadelphia.
oh no,
Because if he does, that would be a decent roster.
yeah,
But Philadelphia, and I couldn't cheer for him in Philadelphia, which would suck.
No.
Goes to Brooklyn, that'd be fun. Who cares though? It's Brooklyn. The biggest thing is he has a chance to go to Phoenix, and is that enough to keep Kevin Durant there?
Well, I mean, Phoenix, they would have the lowest odds among any lottery team, correct? Or would
They
it?
they would, but weirder things have happened.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, when the Pelicans landed Zion, they had the lowest odds or second lowest odds, right?
Yeah, they had very low odds, but I thought that was rigged for a different reason than Zion.
Okay.
It was done to get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean, like I said, weirder things. It is a luck chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rigged or not, depending on how you look at it. But it is supposedly up to luck. So Suns could land, and would that be enough to keep Kevin Durant in Phoenix? Look at that. I mean, you're looking at Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Cooper Flagg, who's playing. Nurkic is still playing center for them, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good lineup. You throw Cooper Flagg in there. Trailblazers would be fun. Him and Donovan Clingan going. That'd be one of the best shot blocking teams.
So if Cooper Flagg were to be put on Phoenix, would KD move to the 3 and then Cooper? No, would Coop play the 3 and KD move to the 4? And then Book would play the point guard and Bradley Beal at the 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's because defensively Cooper Flagg would definitely be the 4. You know, he's a little shorter. Defensively, he'd absolutely be the 4.
Yeah, that
And then
makes
offensively, I don't think it matters because I mean, obviously this is disrespectful as hell. But Cooper Flagg is kind of a slower Kevin Durant on the offensive end, and he's definitely a slower and stronger Kevin Durant, which is what a power like a stretch 4 is compared to a strong forward or whatever you want to call it. Calling Kevin Durant a strong forward is ridiculous because he's not strong.
No, he's not,
and he's not very forward either.
Mhm.
But I don't know. The one thing I hate about tanking is like, especially when it's like you said, target tanking. You're target tanking for Cooper Flagg. There's like 6 teams target tanking for Cooper Flagg right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is going to end up with Con Canupla. And like, love Con, but he is not Cooper Flagg.
No, he's not.
And he's not a franchise changing player.
Like
So-
he could be like, I could see him being a 3rd or 4th option on a contending team, maybe.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario, but
he Buddy Hields it.
yeah,
And just has a really good shooting percentage. Obviously, he's nowhere near what Buddy Hield was in college, but he's also taken a 4th of the shots that Buddy Hield was taking in college.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. That's what I hate about target tanking because, like, especially like the Victor Wembanyama stuff. There was 10 teams tanking for Wemby,
Mhm.
and 9 teams didn't get him, and like those teams are still feeling the repercussions of it today.
Yeah,
And that's what I hate because, like, one, to tank, you either have to give up guys or you have to sit guys who then will leave because they're like, well, wow, you don't even value me over this guy that's in college or in Europe or in high
Yep.
school still. And it sets, I don't know. I don't like it, but I also like it because I like the idea of risking it for a player that's this good, but then when you don't get him, what the hell happens?
right.
So I don't know.
And also, I did mean to bring this up in the college thing,
Yeah.
but RJ Lewis
Yeah.
entered the transfer portal.
You did?
Yes, he did.
When? Earlier today?
Earlier today. Yeah.
Has he signed with anybody yet or just in the portal?
He's just in the portal.
Interesting. Where did he go? He's going.
I don't know where can he go. I guess he was that angry about being benched.
I mean, I'd be all due respect. I'd be kind of pissed too.
Yeah, I
He's the
would.
best player, but I would. He's probably going SEC. He's I would say SEC play style, but I could see him going to Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I could I'd say I'd put that on the record. That's my prediction. He's going to Kentucky.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see him coming Big Ten. If he comes Big Ten, it'll be Izzo bringing him there to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Or I could see him going to maybe like a Nebraska, like what Bryce Underwood was, and trying to be a guy like him where just you're gonna take 30 shots a game and to hell with it, have fun, you know. USC maybe just to
Probably.
go south because who doesn't want to go to California?
Right. LA, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him. He's not a Big 12 player. And I know that doesn't make sense, but
Yeah,
maybe Texas Tech, but he's not a Kansas. He's not a Baylor guy.
Kansas, Baylor, Houston, Big 12. Yeah.
Houston maybe, but he doesn't fit into the DNA of the Coach Sampson way.
Yeah.
At all.
No.
I mean, he was the only guy in that St. John's team that didn't 100% buy in on the defensive end.
Mhm.
So, and Kevin Sampson's not Kevin Sampson. Kelvin Sampson is not putting up with that. So I think Kentucky. I think Mark Pope, get him there, and he'll do great things at Kentucky. That's a Kentucky player, though.
And then I also just got notification that Kansas center Flory Bendunga, he intends to enter the portal.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how many years. Jeez, I absolutely should not forget his name. Bill Self has left
Yeah.
because he's falling apart year by year, just getting worse and worse. He has not figured out the NIL era.
Nope.
He essentially just is offering as much money as he can to every single player, and then as first guy that takes it, now he's got no money left. You saw there's AJ Store, right?
AJ Store.
I mean, AJ Store, he popped in the portal right away, transferred right away. He was one of the first big names off. I mean, he was gone quick. And now they have nothing left, and then they're trying to bring freshmen in, and he's not figured out the NIL era. And ever since guys like Grady Dick left, we haven't had a guy like him at all. Where like you're bringing in a freshman that's NBA ready, and he's going to the NBA, and then they haven't had anybody like a Kevin McCullough Jr., a Chaz McCormick, guys that have been there multiple years and then develop into something great. It's been a whole lot of nothing right now in Kansas basketball.
Yep.
So get that figured out. It won't be. He'll get fired, Bob Huggins style. I could see, because Bill Self already has some controversy around him. He's had some, I don't say allegations, but he's had some controversies early in his career. So if those start to reappear and he gets Bob Huggins, I mean, I would not mind it. A fresh start in Kansas basketball is okay, because a program with that type of pedigree, you can always build it back, no matter the coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Kentucky, it's like a coaching change. You knew they weren't going to be gone for long, and they came back right away.
Yep.
I mean, Sweet 16, 3 seed, decent in the, or very good in the SEC, and a good SEC.
That's dropping.
So I don't know. I think it's time for a reset in Kansas basketball, and losing a guy like that where he's leaving, I mean, he could have stepped up in that Hunter Dickinson hole.
Yeah.
And now you have to recruit for somebody that you didn't think you'd have to recruit for because your center's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, well, definitely was.
I guess we'll see. Anything else you want to touch on?
Not at the moment. I'm gonna say, just looking through, there's nothing in college football just yet.
Zach, do you have anything to add from the Brewers' perspective?
I hate Nestor Cortez.
Louder for the program, please.
Louder.
Nestor Cortez.
Zach, on the court record, would like to say that, and this is his quote, not mine. I hate Nestor Cortez. You should put that up on the Wise Talk.
Yep, perfect.
Oh, Zach would like to be quoted on Wise Talk with the words, "I hate Nestor Cortez."
Okay, well, we have to be careful because I'm employed by a certain employer, but
Well, that's why it's Zach. It's Zach's words, not yours, right?
but it's still my network, so
Yeah.
I still might get held accountable.
But is the CEO of ESPN going to get in trouble if like Pat McAfee drops the N-word live? No, that's going to be on Pat McAfee. So let Zach speak his mind.
Okay, well, all right.
You can also say that
Okay, wait.
Nestor Cortez needs to be sent to Iraq.
All right, Zach would like on quote that Nestor Cortez should be sent.
We're not gonna post that for because
Strip naked and put on a pole at the top of Yankee Stadium.
That Yankee Stadium is not in Iraq, Zach.
I know.
Okay, just making sure. All right, I think that's good. I think you should leave that in the recording.
yeah. We're gonna leave it at that.
Hey, this is gonna be a fun one for you
NCAA
to
women's.
edit.
Also, instantly, we want to give our prayers to Juju Watkins.
Yeah, I would say we should touch on Juju. That is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's horrible. That's the worst way to end your career, especially such a good career as hers.
Well, I
in
mean,
college.
her career is still not over
Is
because
she
she's
gonna
a sophomore. Because she's a
stay?
sophomore.
But is she going to stay? That was a question though, because
Well,
there was a conversation. Will she go to the league with Paige? Because they've been talking. Like, will they take that next step together, or will she stay the next couple of years?
They can't. They have to go a full 4 years.
They do.
Yeah, and
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Please. Yes.
I did not know that.
yeah,
Well,
they do.
in that case, I was wondering why the state was so long. I didn't know it was a requirement.
Yeah, like honestly, with Paige, she could have entered her the year after, she tore her ACL.
Yeah, like she could have entered last year, right? Because I was
Could have entered last year.
Talking about. Okay.
Well, actually, she was eligible last year, but she chose to take the extra.
Yeah, to come back for the injury year. Yeah.
Injury year.
And then to touch on baseball a little bit, just to get it out.
Uh-huh.
Dodgers look like the best team in baseball. Everything they expected to be, they are.
Yep.
Which sucks. And then
Yeah,
no other surprises. They did get bailed out last night. Yeah.
Got bailed out multiple times.
But I don't know. They do look like, I mean, it's the devil magic now. It's like the Chiefs thing. It's everything's going to go their way, even though they don't need things to go their way because they're so flippin' good. But I mean, and then other than that, no other real surprises or super awesome storylines other than Adley Rutschman breaking up with his girlfriend, hitting the gym, and then going yard twice on opening day. That
Nice.
was a fun little tidbit, but other than that, oh, and then Tyler O'Neill. I don't know if you saw that. 6 opening days in a row with a home run.
Oh wow.
So 6 consecutive, not even total, consecutive opening days in a row with a home run, which is very cool. But
That's
yeah,
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So-
NCAA women's basketball tournament is going on right now. Close one between Notre Dame and TCU. Then there's Tennessee.
could get knocked out.
Yep, there's Tennessee and Texas. There's Oklahoma and UConn, and then USC and Kansas State to close out.
UConn's going to win that game probably by 20 plus, as they always do.
Yep.
But
I
you
believe
see the,
Texas. I believe Texas will defeat Tennessee, and I actually think Kansas City could upset USC.
Kansas State, yeah, probably, especially without Juju.
Yeah,
Did you see the Duke North Carolina game last night?
I did not. I was not able to see it. I was at work, but I saw the box score, and it looked like a shit show.
It was. Here we go. North Carolina 28% from the floor, Duke 31% from the floor, North Carolina 27% for free, Duke 20% for free. Now we get bad. North Carolina 50% from the free throw line, Duke 42% from the free throw line. 15 and 10 turnovers, respectively, for each team's 23 combined fouls, 0 fast break points, 0 points off turnovers. So they had 25 combined turnovers and 0 points off them.
Holy Christ!
And there was, I mean, each team had 2 quarters where they scored single-digit points. North Carolina had a 7-point quarter and a 6-point quarter, respectfully. But guess what? That's March, baby.
That's March. That's March.
But yeah, I was watching the highlights of that game last night, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine sitting through all of that. But yeah, Duke.
Imagine you bet on that game, and you're like trying to watch it, and you have a team that you're cheering for, and they make 2 shots per quarter.
Yeah, that's. Whew. But yeah, Duke. They now face South Carolina in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, they're
And
gonna lose.
then LSU also won yesterday, and they face UCLA in the Elite Eight.
Give me LSU. I hate Kim Mulkey. I hate her. But I think give me LSU. I know UCLA's been great this year. Won the Big Ten. Whoop-de-doo. But give me LSU.
Really?
Well, I don't know how to pronounce her first name, and I don't want to be offensive. But Johnson, she's a dog.
Michaela Johnson?
No, on LSU. What's her name?
Flage Johnson.
Yeah. Dog.
Because, wait, let me not get it wrong. I should know LSU because I believe there is 2 Johnsons on the team.
The one that I'm thinking of is the one you just said, I think.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Michaela Williams. Yeah, Flage Johnson. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Dog.
Yeah.
She's absolutely. So give me LSU. Give me that. I know it's the wrong pick. I know UCLA is probably going to beat them by a lot because UCLA has been one fantastically coached this year, but also is just a fantastic team.
Yeah, and also Lauren Bentz. I don't think LSU has anyone to guard her. So
no, not at all. But give me LSU. You never know. This is March, CaBreon.
It's
it won't
March.
be March.
It's March.
Is it March when they'll play?
Yeah, it is March.
They'll play tomorrow. Yeah, that's still March.
Yeah, they play tomorrow. It's still March.
Still March.
It only reaches April in the Final Four.
Yeah, Final Four is April.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me LSU.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other stuff you want to talk about? Any other sports we can hit quick?
From the looks of it.
Wait, huge one. I don't know if you pay attention to college wrestling at all.
Oh, are you talking about the Gable
biggest
upset?
The biggest upset in wrestling ever.
I did see that.
That was incredible.
And I am very happy that that happened because Gable Stevenson has allegations towards his name.
Oh, wait.
Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As with who?
He has allegations towards his name.
Oh, okay. I thought you said for what's his name. I'm like,
Oh,
who's
no,
that?
no.
No. Well, I mean, I don't. That wasn't the reason. I just thought it was awesome that one because he's an arrogant asshole. That's the
yeah.
biggest part.
Uh-huh.
And so it was great to see him get humbled on the biggest stage. Like it's if he loses, a match like a conference match in January, nobody cares. But losing that match was spectacular.
Uh-huh.
And just seeing that, and then he's going to go to the Olympics. He's going to compete. He's probably going to win the Olympics now. He's probably going to tech fall the Olympics at this point.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Still, it was awesome to see, and it's a really cool moment, which we love to. But yeah, I figured we'd touch on that because that was the biggest news outside of the main four sports recently.
Yeah.
And Ovechkin's like 5 away, 6 away.
5
now
away?
from,
Yeah.
I think it's 6 or 5, one of the two.
Mhm.
From Gretzky, which again, another thing that we want to see this year.
And I also do love that that ESPN is pushing this heavily. They're pushing this pretty well.
Pushing which heavily? Ovechkin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, dude, if they did, that would have been ridiculous. I mean, it's if you break a record of Gretzky's, it should be covered nationally.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of I don't know, it's disrespectful, but a lot of opinionated people like, oh, Ovechkin's better than Gretzky. No, he's not.
No.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Gretzky might arguably be the greatest team athlete ever.
Absolutely. I think that's a very fair argument. I think Tom Brady's up there. I know Tom Brady's not or internet. But in terms of leadership abilities and carrying a team, like it not even carrying a team skill wise, but like mentally carrying a team, which Tom Brady did do.
Yes, he did.
He's up there as well. But in terms of skill, I don't think anyone you can't challenge Gretzky's
and also the
most skilled team.
Too.
Well, that too. I mean, the great one, as they say. As they say. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we could cover the NFL, but that will be covered tomorrow. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have some NFL draft hype and also go through the off season, and we're gonna talk about the Green Bay Packers as well.
Trey and Max tomorrow.
Huh?
Trey and Max tomorrow.
Trey and Max are expected to be here tomorrow. As we're gonna as we return to soccer coverage. Then also we'll have reactions to tonight's Elite 8 games and then preview Sunday's games. So
got it. All right.
It'll be very, very, very fun.
I need to start doing my NFL homework because I haven't looked at that at all this offseason.
It's understandable. I've been like more college basketball a bit in here, but I'm getting back into the NFL draft bag, especially since this draft is in Green Bay. So,
oh, yeah, it isn't. Might go to it. Want to go to it?
I believe it is free.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Well, there are pay tickets, but it also is free for other spots as well.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of college, we'll stay at college. College baseball, Texas A&M, biggest fall off of all time.
Really?
They were the consensus 1 seed coming into the season, and were unranked by week 3. Oh. They are currently sitting at, I think, a losing record, which is an SEC school having a losing record at this point in the season is ridiculous.
Insane.
Because I mean, all those out of conference games, you have to win, right, to start the year. Because the whole point of college baseball, you stay in the top 16, so you host a regional. But I mean, they're 13-12 on the year after being ranked consensus number 1, not only number 1 in the country, but consensus number 1. They did lose. You could argue the second or third best player on their team, or the best player if you really want to push an agenda on it. But I mean, you're looking at. I mean, they lost 4 in a row to. What are we looking at? I can't find the opponents here. Jeez, their schedule is awful. They lost to Cal Poly, Texas State, Arizona, Oklahoma State, 4 in a row. Can't happen. And then they bounce back. They get their win against Rice, and then lose to UTSA at home. At home.
At home.
They lost to Cal Poly and Texas State at home in College Station. And then they started SEC play. They they lost New Mexico State too. They get swept by Alabama. They get swept by Vanderbilt. They picked up a non-conference win against A&M Corpus Christi. Big non-conference win for them.
Wow.
But yeah, it's been horrible. And then they just picked up 2 other non-conference wins this week. Or they picked up a HCU win, and then they just beat Kentucky yesterday for their first conference win of the year, 9-7, which is a big win, beating Kentucky. But they were under 500 coming out of the Vanderbilt series after being consensus number 1. It is the biggest fall off of all time in college baseball ever. Because college baseball rankings, I don't want to say are easy, but again, they never get changed.
They never get changed
because teams don't lose these games, right? You're playing,
Mhm.
you might play 1 or 2 good teams, you'll drop 5 or 6, but you never drop out. And it's ridiculously impressive how bad they've been with how good they should be and how good, they could be, and they might be the rest of the year, but it's been a historically bad start for the Aggies. Figured we'd cover that, just throw that in there.
Yep, that's bad. Also, a quick congratulations to Cochran Fountain City, Aquinas, Milwaukee Academy of Science, Tulsa West, and Wisconsin Lutheran for winning the state championship.
I figured it'd be more bad about Tulsa West than Wisco. That one upset me more.
No,
I have more hatred towards them.
I have more hatred towards Tulsa East rather than Tulsa West.
I hate them both. It's just a Tulsa thing, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Especially that playoff game, you know?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't there for that game.
I know you weren't there for that game. You would have been great at that game.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the same day as my grandma's birthday party. So
yeah. Well, bring grandma with next time.
Yeah, she hate going to basketball games. But yeah, that pretty much covers it all. So we will see you all tomorrow. We're talking NFL, soccer, more college basketball, and more in between, as we always do. So signing off. See you tomorrow.
All right.